So this, okay, we're down to 90 microns right here, pulling in vacuum through the vacuum pump. And I was showing the shop owner the difference between his machine on with a micron gauge I put on it and the micron gauge here. So here we're down below 90 microns, and that was within 30 seconds. Then here we set it for an hour and we're down to 27 minutes left. So that's we're coming up on 40 some minutes have already gone by, or 40 or so, almost 40. 30 some minutes have gone by. 30 minutes coming up on 33 minutes or 34 minutes have gone by. What's happened to my math? And we're down to 2,890 microns, and it's not pulling on a vehicle or nothing like that. It's just pulling on the gauges themselves. The hoses are so contaminated, and I changed the oil on it. Now I bet you if I took just this gauge, got rid of all the hoses, and I hooked up right to the pump itself. Now you see that red stuff? That's like glass. It's like super glue, but meant for copper and brass. And it seals. You can see the red in there, and the red at all the seals. So this is permanent. You don't take this off. But if I could get rid of the hoses and I went directly off the pump itself, I bet you this pump can still pump down below 500 microns. But because it's on all this old rubber refrigerant hose and stuff like that, by the time it gets already here, it doesn't do shit. And that's not even hooked up to the car. This is why these particular devices are pieces of crap. And this is what I find on them all the time. Every time I go to a shop, I like to ask them to hook up one of my gauges, and I hook it up, and this is what I find. It can't even, usually 3,000, 5,000, you know, I rarely ever see them get to 1,500. And on the car, they can't even do that, even after an hour. They're the most worthless pieces of shit on earth. If you're trying to get rid of moisture out of the system, look at all the plumbing. Look at all the hoses and everything like that. You have to go through all these, every one of these bends, every one of these turns, every one of these solenoids that your path of vacuum have to go through, and the hoses. Those are all losses in your vacuum capability by the time you get to the car. And that's why these are just big piles of trash. And I never liked them because I could just kick ass on these using individual recovery machines and individual vacuum pumps with silicone hoses. And this is what I find all the time. All right, pretty pathetic, but this is the automotive industry.